In the last century, we had a Cold War between the US and the USSR. So the Soviet Union government, they decided to teach chess everywhere to everyone and build a very intelligent population. India was more aligned with the Soviet Union than with the US. So Soviet Union, they built 4 chess clubs, prominent chess clubs in India, the 4 major cities.
So for the common audience, can you please brief us about the different titles associated with this chess?
Yeah, so basically among the formal titles, the highest is the World Championship title. So the Grandmaster title and the International Master title, how it works is there are many international tournaments happening and we have to compete in 3 international tournaments. So I got an opportunity to go with the Indian team as a coach in 1998 to Iran. And that's how my first stint as a trainer happened. And subsequently, I started working with many players, and they became very good players in a very short span of time.
Assume I am developing more interest towards the chess at this age. So if I want to play well, if I want to participate in the international competitions, for someone who want to improve their chess, youngsters, adults who wants to improve, who wants to take a professional chess playing, what will be your advice?
No, generally, not just for chess. If you want to be a professional in any field, there are some qualities required. I already mentioned passion. This is very important. Whatever we are trying to do, it should make us happy, not stressful. So we have to enjoy that activity wholeheartedly. And when we perform that activity, when we trying to learn that activity, ambitious in certain fields, we have to earn it. We have to be deserving of success. We have to earn success.
Hello all, welcome to Officers Podcast. If you want to succeed in any field, you need a goal and you have to put your hard work to achieve that goal, and most importantly, you need discipline. Every day you have to hard work. But along with this, there is one more important ingredient, that is the role of a coach, role of a mentor. Be it any field, the role of the coach is very significant. Be it sports, be it competitive exam, or you are running a startup, you want to improve your startup, you need a mentor to scale up your business. You need a mentor to improve your sports activities. You need a mentor to achieve the desired result. So in today's podcast interview, we have one such most sought after chess mentor with us. Not just in India, he is the most sought after chess mentor in the world. He has been selected as the best coach of the year by FIDE, International Chess Federation. He has been given the award of best coach of the year by Sportstar. He is the head coach of Officers Club in Norway, which is run by none other than the world number 1, Magnus Carlsen. He is the official coach of Romania Chess Federation. More than 40 of his students have won international championship. They have got international titles. To name a few, Grandmaster Pragnananda, Grandmaster Vaishali, Grandmaster Aravind Chidambaram, Grandmaster Karthikeyan. The list goes on. All are mentored by our special chief guest. He has also authored many books related to chess. His recent work on how to improve the chess calculations have secured the best chess book of the year title as well. Today we are glad to bring Grandmaster, the mentor, R.B.Ramesh to our Officers Podcast. Welcome, sir.
Hello. Nice meeting you.
Yes, sir. So, it is said that India is the origin for the chess game. It is said that from the Gupta period, for the last 1500 years, chess is being played in India. At the same time, some are also of the opinion that it has some Egyptian origin. So I would like to know from you, what is this story behind the chess origin?
Yeah. So from my young age, I've heard that chess originated in India, the name of Chaturanga. So Chaturanga is, Chatur is 4, Anga is parts. So basically 4 parts of the army. So we had the elephants, horse, soldiers, and camel army. So these were supposed to be the 4 major forces in the army, and it is supposed to have originated in India. And later, when the Persians came, they took the game and it went to, through the Arabs, it went to Persia, and from there it went to Europe. And in Europe, many of the modern rules came into place. Some old rules were replaced by modern ones. And then from there, it became extremely popular in the Soviet Union.
Okay.
Because the last century, we had a Cold War between the US and the USSR.
Okay.
And they wanted to show that they are ahead than everyone else in every field. So the Soviet Union government, they decided to teach chess everywhere to everyone and build a very intelligent population. So they felt if everyone knows how to play chess, they can create an intelligent population, and then they can be better than everyone else in whatever other spheres they aspired for. So Soviet Union was the dominant force in the last century. And then when Soviet Union broke in the early 90s, many of the trainers and players, they started moving to Europe and US. And the game also picked up in Europe and US as a result. And since 1988, when Vishwanathan Anand became Grandmaster, India is also coming into the radar in a big way.
Okay. So I was about to ask this because the origin, the roots can be traced in India, but when compared to other sports, chess is little less popular in India, right? What could be the reason for that?
Chess was not very popular till Vishwanathan Anand became India's first Grandmaster, as I mentioned, in 1988. So we did not have for any sport to be popular, we need some sporting heroes, some stars who can attract the audience imagination. That did not happen till Anand came into the picture. And subsequently, in the year 2000, he became world champion. So that was the first Indian to win the world championship title in chess. So since then, chess is getting very popular, especially among young children. And also during the COVID, chess became extremely popular online. So now it is considered the most popular e-sport. And there are many websites which has millions of paid subscribers and so on. And in Europe also, the game is becoming much more popular, and so is in India.
So as you are mentioning about Vishwanathan Anand's achievement, so there are others like Manuel Aron, the international master, and even the first women grandmaster, if I'm not wrong, yes, Vijayalakshmi was also from Chennai. Vishwanathan Anand is from Chennai. So everyone is from Chennai. When it was a less popular game and sport, how come they were able to get that inspiration?
So as I was mentioning, Soviet Union took up this game in a big way. They wanted to be the best in the world. And as a result, the first 12 of the 13 world champions were from Soviet Union. And India was very close to Soviet Union around this point.
Okay.
And during the Cold War, India was more aligned with the Soviet Union than with the US. So Soviet Union, they built 4 chess clubs, prominent chess clubs in India, the 4 major cities like Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, and Chennai. And so in Chennai, we had the Tall Chess Club. And that's where young Vishwanathan Anand, when he was very young as a school kid, he used to go there and play with the others and learn the game. So that was a popular meeting point for chess enthusiasts in Chennai. So other cities did not have. The clubs in Delhi, Kolkata, and Mumbai, they were not very patronized well by the public. But the one in Chennai, many players came and participated and learned the game. So we have a big history associated with Chennai. And as you mentioned, Manuel Aron was India's first international master, Anand first grandmaster, and Vijayalakshmi first women grandmaster, all from Chennai. And I was also, when I was a young kid, I used to visit the Tall Chess Club. So that is one of the reasons why I would say Chennai is doing well in chess.
So we were using the terms international master, grandmaster, women grandmaster. So there is a popular misconception about these titles. Everyone have their own understanding. Even for a very long time, I was under the impression that in a year there can be only one grandmaster. It is the most prestigious title one person can achieve in a particular year. So for the common audience, can you please brief us about the different titles associated with this chess?
Yeah, so basically like among the formal titles, the highest is the World Championship title. So there can only be one world champion, and we have a world championship title for the men and for the women separately. The women can compete and become a world champion in the open section as well.
Okay.
And apart from the world championship title, they also have two other prominent titles, the highest among which is Grandmaster title, and the other is International Master title. And similarly for women, we have Women International Master and Women Grandmaster titles,
Okay.
which men cannot obtain. So the Grandmaster title and the International Master title, how it works is there are many international tournaments happening, and we have to compete in 3 international tournaments and meet certain stipulated requirements. And if we do that, we will be given a certificate. So if we do that in 3 international tournaments, 3 different tournaments, we get 3 certificates, and with that you can become an international master or a grandmaster.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have also heard that these are something related to do with some points. GM means they have 2,500
Yes.
points. Can you brief us about the points?
Yeah, so in chess we have a FIDE. FIDE is the World Chess Association name, and it is based in Switzerland, and they have their own international rating system by which all the serious chess players, they have a number assigned to them, which is called the rating. And this rating keeps fluctuating after every game. So whenever we win a game, our rating goes up. If we lose a game, the rating goes down.
Okay.
And if we make a draw, then it depends on our opponent's strength. If they are higher, our rating will go up. If they are lower, our rating will go down, and so on. So basically, this number keeps fluctuating on a game-to-game basis.
Okay.
Yeah, and to become a grandmaster, you need to touch 2,500.
Okay.
To become an international master, you need to touch 2,400.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you yourself being a grandmaster, former Commonwealth champion. So we would like to know about your chess story, from where it started, your schooling, your graduation. Can you brief us?
Yeah. So, like every child, back then I was also going for cricket training at the
Okay.
YMCA, and
Okay.
around 1988, mid 98, 88, I had a head injury because of playing cricket. The ball
Cricket.
came and hit me in my head.
Okay.
So I was taking a short break, and that's when coincidentally Vishwanathan Anand became a grandmaster from India. I read it in the newspaper, and I was very inspired. Then I asked my father if I can also become a chess player, and he readily supported. So that's how I came to chess, thanks to Anand becoming a GM.
Okay.
And then, as I mentioned, we had this tall chess club. So I used to go there and play with other players, and my
From
interest
which
grew.
age you started?
I was 12 years old
12 years
at that point.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I started playing in some competitions, and I started doing well. Then I felt maybe I can be a good chess player. So back then, chess was not considered a profession. So I was just playing competitions for fun, and it was nice. And then I started winning state and national championships and so on. Then I started representing India in World Youth Championship, and subsequently became an international master in 96 and a grandmaster in 2003. I have played a couple of Olympiads for India, and was Commonwealth champion in 2007 and British champion in 2002. So it was a reasonably good career as a player. But around this point, I was also feeling like most of the learning was happening through trial and error. So we were making a lot of mistakes and trying to learn from them, which is a very inefficient way to learn, and also a very slow process to learn. And when I looked around, I felt other players are also in the same boat. So they are also not sure what mistakes they were making and how to learn the game in a more efficient manner, and how to overcome their weaknesses and so on. And there were no coaches around in India back then, and we also did not have the computers, internet. It has not yet come in India. So it was a very slow and painful process. So I got an opportunity to go with the Indian team as a coach in 1998 to Iran, and that's how my first stint as a trainer happened. And subsequently, I started working with many players, and they became very good players in a very short span of time. And in 2008, I was working with Indian Oil Corporation as deputy manager, and was also the Commonwealth champion at that point. I quit both my office job and also the playing career, and started Chess Gurukul in 2008, and last 15 years a full-time trainer.
So, being a chess mentor, so I may be wrong, sir. Correct me if I'm wrong. You train a lot of students. So when they play, I somehow feel the mentors, you also get a feeling that you are playing through them.
Yeah, in a way it is true, because we are trying to help the players to mold in a particular way. But the thing is, like, if we try to mold the students in our form, then it may not work very well because everyone has their own personalities. So, ideally, a good trainer should try to help them evolve in their own way,
Okay.
not a replica of ourselves.
Mhm.
But how they learn the game, how they overcome their problem areas, there we can have our influence and there we can see some resemblances.
So after giving so much of training, for several years of training, you take them to different tournaments. So when they reach important competitions, they do some mistake or they face some defeat. How dejected you will feel?
No, I don't get much dejected because of this. Because what I have seen is like when I was a player, losses and defeats and victories, it will have more severe impact, especially the losses. Like when we lose games, we start doubting our capabilities. We think maybe we are not good enough, and we lose confidence. We get doubts in our mind, and this can impact the quality of our training also. Then we are not training enthusiastically with confidence, so we become very upset and dejected and lack of hope. So I quickly understood that it is very important to teach the players how to handle these disappointments. And so the way I explain to them is like, currently everyone sees win as something good and losing as something bad, but I try to tell them it's like win and losing, it's like two different experiences, and these are bound to happen many times. And we have to learn to see them as two different experiences. From both these different experiences we can learn some useful lessons. Obviously, the win is a more pleasant experience, losing is an unpleasant experience, but it is also very essential for us to realize the kind of mistakes we make, why we make, and how to avoid these mistakes in similar situations in the future. So it's a very useful process to go through in the long run.
Okay.
That's how I see.
So how will you, advise those for going for the next day? They have the championship. They have to attend. They'll be having tremendous amount of stress. So how will you help them to ease their stress? What is the advice you will be providing?
Yeah, so basically, like to handle the stress, it is very important where we focus our concentration. That is the so we should be very clear where we focus our concentration. Now, if we focus the concentration on the outcome, now in chess, the outcome of the game is whether you win or lose. And if you win or lose, accordingly, your rating will go up or down. So these two things, it bothers a player very much. Whether they win or lose, everyone wants to win, and everyone wants to see the rating go up. Now, this will not happen always. In sports, inevitably, we will lose sometimes. And when we lose, our rating will drop and we will not get any score for that game we lost. So, what usually happens if we focus on this outcome when we are preparing for the competition or while playing in the competition, then our focus will not be on what we should be doing. So, for a chess player, he should be analyzing well, concentrating on the game, analyzing, taking decisions. And this is what they should be doing. And if they do this well, usually the outcome will be positive. And if they don't do this well, the outcome will be negative. So most players, what they do, they are just worrying, I should not lose. If I lose, my rating will go down. So they approach it with a sense of fear.
Yeah.
And when they do that, their concentration will not be good. So it is very important to teach them to focus their concentration away from the result and the rating aspect to something else. So how I tell them is like, imagine if you are in a restaurant with friends and they are playing some background music in the restaurant. So we are focusing on what each of us are talking with each other, not on the background music. So all this tension, fear, doubts, they should be like a background music. They are there, but we are not focusing on them. We are focusing on more important thing, which is our performance.
Okay.
So teaching them to concentrate on the job at hand. So this way, they are keeping their mind busy And if their mind is not busy, they will start thinking about if I'm not talking to anyone or not listening, then I will listen to the background music more. So
Okay.
we should keep our mind busy on something productive.
Okay. So, as a coach, you are going to give equal attention, equal training, same strategies for all of your students. But very few they are able to do exceptionally well. They become, grandmasters, international masters. So, what differentiates between these
Yeah.
students?
Yeah, so the critical aspects in my view, there are few. First is passion, the interest, the love for that activity. So if they have to become good chess players, they should really like the game. So it should not be like, because if I do well in chess, I can make more money, or I can get a good job, or I can become popular. So for many, this is the main motivation. They don't really enjoy the game itself. So the first important thing is they should really love in which area they are trying to excel. So with my students, I expect them to love chess wholeheartedly.
Okay.
And that also means, so usually what happens when we are trying to learn something, we like certain areas, we don't like certain areas. So for example, I remember when I was in school, I will like certain subjects, some subjects I will not like. So when that subject is taught, my concentration will not be in the class. So I will think, oh, this is boring, I don't like this. Or some subjects I will feel I'm not good. I will think, okay, my math is very bad. I'm bad in math. So if I think something is boring, I'm not interested. Or if I think I'm not good at something, then I will not concentrate well. I will not put a good effort to learning that. So I tell my students from the beginning, since you are aspirational, you want to achieve something big, and you claim you are wholeheartedly loving this whole game, then you should not have areas which you think you don't like. So
Okay.
everything about the game you should like. So there is no like, I can choose what to like and what to dislike. No, you have to like everything about the game. And the other thing, wherever you feel you are not good at currently, that does not mean you cannot learn it through good effort. So you should be willing to learn things which you are not comfortable learning, and which you think you cannot learn. Even those things you can learn if you put a good effort with good concentration. So basically everything is learnable if you are interested to learn and if you put a good effort to learn. So
Okay.
this I make it very clear. So the children, they don't feel I cannot learn anything. So they know very well, if I'm not good at something, I can work hard and learn that.
Okay.
So this interest to learn is also very important. And the third is hard work. So by hard work, I don't mean more work. So it's not like you do some activity for many hours. So normally they don't say more work, they say hard work. So how I explain this to my students is like, if let's say I take two small objects and I want to build my hand muscle, and if I do this for 10 hours, now you can say for 10 hours, if I do my hand, no, it's not going to become strong. But let's say if I try to push the wall very hard, now the wall is not going to go anywhere. But because I really try very hard, and if I do this for 20-30 seconds, maybe 3 days three times a day, in 1 month I would have put a lot of muscle. So it's not just the outcome, but the effort, the intensity of the effort. So when the student wants to learn, one, they should really enjoy learning, they should enjoy that activity, they should believe they can learn, and they should put a very sincere effort at learning.
Okay.
So this is hard work in my view. You are fully involved
Okay.
in that
Okay,
activity.
Okay. I see a lot of young kids performing much better when compared to the other adults. So, world number one Carlson is getting defeated by Prague. We see others, Vishwanathan Anand, we see Hikaru, a lot of other players. They have that passion, they have their interest, they have their hard work. Along with that, they have their experience as well. But these youngsters, they are able to win against them as well. So how it is possible for them? Whether Chess more suits the young guys?
Usually, like when we are young, we are more adventurous, we are more daring, and we have less inhibitions, less doubts in our mind. And as we grow older, so because of all kinds of different experiences we go through, we start creating some developing self doubts, and we start putting limitations over ourselves. We think, I can do this, I cannot do that. This is easy for me, this is difficult for me. I like this, I don't like this. So we start building this kind of strong opinions as we grow older. And the young children, they have not gone through many experiences. So most of their experiences are positive because they are reaching new milestones.
Yeah.
It's like you get first rank in the second grade, third grade, fourth grade. These are not very difficult thing compared to MBBS, but they are only having positive experiences. So they have more positive and less negative experiences. So they're generally very confident and they believe themselves. But seniors, they know their limitations, or they have created many limitations in their head. So that gives an edge to youngsters, I would say.
So let's assume I am developing more interest towards the chess at this age. So if I want to play well, if I want to participate in the international competitions, another side I see youngsters with so much of positive qualities, they bring them so much of fear, which it is making me whether to think whether shall I pursue with this professional playing of chess. So what is your opinion? Someone of my age, can we start aspiring to become a grandmaster?
No, there's nothing wrong in aspiring to be great in any field, but for that corresponding effort is required. So many times what I see with many students, they feel if I go to a good trainer, they will make me a strong player. So I don't have much of a role. So typically it's like we go to a salon, we just sit in the chair and the barber does all the cutting. So, and then in the salon, we don't have much role when everything is happening. So many students have this attitude. They feel my role is not very important in this. My role, whatever I'm taught, I have to listen and try to learn. That's it. And it's up to the trainers to make me good. This is a very incorrect attitude. So the trainers can only guide, show, motivate, inspire, and transfer knowledge. But the learning should happen effectively in the student's head.
Okay.
For that, they have to be a very, very active, attentive participant. And so the role of the student is predominant.
Okay. So irrespective of the age, everyone can
Irrespective
aspire,
of the
but
age.
the effort is most important.
So if you can, usually what happens when we are getting older, we have to think about getting a job or getting married, buying house.
Yes.
So we have responsibilities and so on. But when we are young, all these are taken care of by the parents. So we don't have other responsibilities. So we are emotionally, mentally free to pursue our passion. Yes. But as we grow, we have other responsibilities. So this will take away time from learning that activity.
So that was my next question as well. So you gave me the lead. See, other sports, let's take cricket. Even if I'm not becoming the most sought after cricket player, there are other avenues where I can engage myself. I can be completely devoting myself for cricket. That is, my livelihood is taken care. I get some kind of salary, or maybe because of the other perks which I get. Also, I need not think about my job aspects or government. In other sport, I win something, government is giving me government job, they are giving leave and I can go and play. So what about chess? Whether government is giving such kind of support, or what are the other avenues of by playing chess?
So there are many things in this question. So one thing is like regarding government support. Earlier, when I was young, so I was an international master and I got a job under sports quota in public sector companies. Initially, I was with Indian Bank and subsequently I went to Indian Oil Corporation. But in the last few years, that has stopped. So the public sector companies are not employing sportsmen. And the good thing is we have other activities related to the sport. For example, if you take chess, now there are many websites, many YouTube channels. where they are publishing videos, they are giving live commentary for tournaments through websites.
Yes.
So there are authors, people who are writing books, who are producing video courses, who are becoming trainers,
Okay.
so who are organizing competitions. So associated activities have grown.
Okay.
So players who are not very successful, they can branch out to other areas related to the sport itself.
Okay.
Now, regarding the government, like the Tamil Nadu government has been giving many cash awards to international achievers. Whenever we achieve some international titles, they are giving cash award. And at the central level, they are having Arjuna Award, Dronacharya Award, and so on. They also have cash award schemes for international medals.
Okay.
I don't think beyond that the government can do. Hopefully, we will get more private sponsors to organize chess events and also to sponsor
Okay.
players.
Okay. So if we take cricket, for example, there are different formats. What I know is we have test match, we have one day international, we have T20, now IPL. What are the different formats is there in chess? Because what I was knowing is some classical game, which will go for entire day, will go carry forward for next day. And now in various the online platforms, I see blitz, bullet, rapid. Can you brief us the different formats?
So basically, there are two major branches. One where we play the game in person with another human being who is sitting in the same room, and this is a face-to-face playing, and the other is playing online, where two players are playing each other, but they are from any part of the world. So I can sit here and play with someone from Japan and so on. So in this is one is online, the other is offline. And in both, in offline, we have three formats similar to what you mentioned in cricket, like test match one day and
Yes.
T20. We have standard time control, which earlier used to go for a few days also, but predominantly now it can go anywhere from 3 to 6 hours
Okay.
per game. So this we call it as standard time control. And the shorter version is rapid, which is typically 1 hour for the whole game. Each player gets roughly half an hour for the game. We call this the rapid, which is equivalent to one day international. And the even shorter format is blitz, which is typically 5 minutes each for the player. So in 10 minutes, the whole game will be over, which is like T20.
Okay.
And in online tournaments, we have even shorter time controls, which is like bullet, where players get only 1 minute for the whole game.
Okay.
1 minute each. So in 2 minutes, the whole game will be over.
Okay. So now another question again. So in cricket, I have some idea about the tournaments. Okay, we have World Cup, we have Test Championship. So similarly, can you brief us on the different tournaments, championship in associated with chess?
So at the highest level, we have the World Championship, where only two players compete. The current world champion and someone who is going to challenge him. We call him the challenger. And there is a qualification process from which one person will be selected who will play against the current world champion. So this happens once in 2 years. And this happens for men and women separately. And then we have the World Cup. So the World Cup is where around 164 players from the top players from around the world, they compete in a knockout format. So the losers, they get eliminated. And so it will be a quarter-final, semi-final, final, and you will eventually have a World Cup winner. So this is another big event. And we also have many official continental championships like Asian Championship, European Championship, African Championship, and so on. So every continent has their own continental championships. And we also have team events. So the team events also, we have the World Team Championship, where the best teams from around the world, they compete. And this happens once in 2 years. We also have the Chess Olympiad, where around 190 countries, they will send their teams. And it's a mega event. It happens once in 2 years as well. So these are the team events.
Okay. I want to know about the social life of the chess players, because I see they look more serious, and when compared to other sports, I see more seriousness, more stress is associated, and I want to know their social life, whether they will also hang out, they will also have their time, watch movies.
Yeah, typically like chess players, we have to travel a lot. So chess competition will go for 9 days.
Okay.
And so you are in a hotel, and then you're going to the venue, competing, and then coming back to the hotel. But usually like the same players will be competing, and you're making good friends, because for 9 days you are with a certain group of players. So there are many good friendships within the chess community. And typically, a chess player is more close with another chess player. So among the chess players, we have a very good social life, and it's a vast community. So someone from India, you'll have friends in every country. So because we play mostly in Europe, so we have many friends in Spain, Germany, France, Italy, and so on.
Okay.
So we have many friends, and we are also very close online.
Okay. So why I was asking this question is, so of late, I was developing some interest towards chess, and there are some casual chess tournaments conducted by various chess clubs in Chennai. So weekends I used to go. So one of the recent chess tournament, one kid, 8 years old, was defeating all the big players, all 6 rounds. He was smashing everyone. And during the prize distribution ceremony, he was constantly thinking. I somehow felt that he's thinking about his moves, right, other strategies. He's 8 years old, he has won, he has defeated so many people. He should feel so happy. That excitement was actually a little missing. So I was just making me to think, that will they be so serious always, or will it take so much of time for them to come out of that game?
Yeah, so if they have played all the 6 games in 1 or 2 days, then it will be you're very intensely associated, involved in that activity. So it may take some time to come back. And as you mentioned, the child is only 8 years old, so they don't have that maturity to step back quickly.
Okay.
So it's like many times what happens if I remember I took my daughter to Doctor Strange movie. So after the movie, my daughter and her friend. So when we were coming back home, so both the girls, they were doing like this, what the movie they were doing. So for children, they need some time to come out if they are very involved. So probably that is the case. But I've seen, especially in the last 20 years, the young children, they have a great time with friends off the board.
Okay. One more thing I observed while playing in that tournament, that these young kids, they come up with some sort of like they're prepared, they're well prepared. Whatever, let's say I go for e4, they come with e5. I think I try to go for knight f3. They come up with some immediately knight c6. They have every pattern in their mind for every move, every variation. They have an idea. So with that attitude only, they are trying to defeat me. And sometimes when we make unconventional moves, we trade the queen immediately. They fumble. I may be wrong. You please correct me. That I get a feeling that the youngsters, they are able to memorize the larger openings, larger variations. I get a feeling that this game is something associated with memory power, rote learning. On the board performance is relatively less. Their preparation is so much. Am I correct, or you please
It depends
explain
on the training. It depends on the coach basically. So if the coach is just trying to teach us by making them memorize opening part, when the opening is over, when they reach the middle game and end game, they will not feel very comfortable or capable. So a good trainer will make sure that they are trained in all the areas. So in chess, after a few moves, you will start facing new situations, unfamiliar situations. At that time, they should be able to focus well, analyze well, and take good decisions.
Okay.
So this is what usually the good training is all about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Usually parents, everyone, particularly parents, they say that kids should play, they should sweat, they should burn their calories. So any sport that will give a lot of relaxation. But here the chess is more of I sit for 2 hours, 3 hours. I put all my conscious effort. So you said it has a lot of stress. At the same time, I also read somewhere that this also exerts a lot of calories. It burns a lot of calories. Is it so?
Yeah. We burn a lot of calorie when we are even emotionally working, intellectually thinking, analyzing, taking decisions. We burn a lot of calories. And there is also a lot of stress involved because battle between two brains. So if we lose, it's very personally hurting. Like I'm not as intelligent as the other guy.
Okay.
So if physically, like I can just go to gym and build muscles, but in brain, this is very hard to do. So it can be quite stressful. And all this means we lose a lot of weight as well while competing. So in the last 20 years, we are also focusing a lot on physical fitness. So most of the chess players who are very ambitious, they are also spending like a couple of hours every day on some sport or gym.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think I should start playing more number of chess games. Right. So now we also know that you are giving chess training in Labasna for the IAS probationers. So can you tell about your experience in training the IAS probationers, IAS officers in Labasna?
Yeah, so 3 years ago, we were approached by Labasna to send trainers. Like they wanted their aspirants to learn chess as well. They are introducing them to various other activities as well, and they wanted to add chess to it as well. So they approached us, and we sent our trainers to go and stay there and give training for 3 to 6 months. So in 2 batches. And I also go there every year and give some lectures for a day or two and then come back. So it's basically on a volunteer basis. They are trying to introduce them to various activities, sports, yoga, meditation, swimming, and so on, horse riding. So a lot of activities are offered. And on a volunteer basis, people choose to choose chess or not. Generally, it's a good experience. There are many young IAS officers who want to learn chess, and they believe it can improve their strategic thinking, analytical skills, handling their emotions, generally be more intelligent.
Decision making, help us to read the opponents.
Yes. No, it's like I would say chess is like a mental gymnasium. So in a physical gymnasium, you take care of your physical needs.
Yes.
Chess can take care of your mental and emotional needs.
Okay. So my final question for you, sir. What advice do you like to say for someone who want to, improve their chess, youngsters, adults, who wants to improve, who wants to take a professional chess playing? What will be your advice?
No, generally, like not just for chess. If you want to be a professional in any field, there are some qualities required. I already mentioned passion. This is very important. Whatever we are trying to do, it should make us happy, not stressful. So we have to enjoy that activity wholeheartedly. And when we perform that activity, when we trying to learn that activity, the learning also should make us happy. We should not get bored by that. So that is very important. And also you have to be very devoted and dedicated. You cannot have too much distractions. And if you have too much distractions, it can take all your positive energy away from whatever activity you are trying to excel. So staying away from distractions is also very important. And especially these days when everyone has mobile phone, tablets, computers, and so on. So how we handle the distractions is something very crucial, I would say. And in general, I see the learning skills of youngsters are declining. And this I have spoken with many professors in universities in Europe, in US, in India. And generally, many are seeing this. So one impact is like because of the distractions, as I mentioned. The other thing is like we should realize if you are ambitious in certain field, we have to earn it. We have to be deserving of success. We have to earn success. Just because I want to be successful does not mean I will be successful. So I have to earn it. I have to deserve it. That happens only through hard work. I upgrade my skills.
Okay. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are so happy. We are so glad. So if we take our academy, our director, our CEO, many faculty members, they are chess enthusiasts. We used to conduct chess tournament within our faculty members. So every weekend, we allow the space for the chess clubs to have some study interaction. So your presence today is actually making us to feel more motivated and charged to improve our contribution and to enjoy this chess as a fantastic game. So thanks once again for participating in the interview, sir. I personally had so much of motivation and a great conversation with you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity.